Okay, shalom, shalom. It's the brother Kadash. Want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rikakodash. And you already know what this is about because you see your screen. This is the Passport Bros. Um, I was I just came across it. I'm gonna be honest to you. I'm gonna be honest. I seen it on YouTube and I went to a couple of the brothers' channels that was out there doing it, and it's pretty interesting. It's very interesting, and it is a part of the Bible, and it's part of a bigger thing, what they're doing, they're just doing it because they want to be. Listen, I mean, let's call a spade, right? They want to be able to go and get women that are easier to deal with. Not meaning that brothers are going over there just to get prostitutes or whatever, or harlots, which that's a part of a bigger topic, which we'll touch on it, right? Not meaning that brothers are going over there just to get harlots, but there is brothers that's going over there and taking wives, women that they're actually dealing with, girlfriends, women that they're actually building with. First off, everything's a lot cheaper, and I had this experience myself. I went to another country before, and in that country, I did notice things was cheaper. I did notice the feeling of not necessarily having Esau on your back. I noticed the feeling. It felt more like more freedom. You felt the weight. It's like a oppression demon that's on you when you in Mystery Babylon. And when I went outside Mystery Babylon, I did feel that weight come off of me. I felt that spirit come off of me. I felt more free. Things felt cheaper. People had a different way of life, meaning like people thoughts and mindset and my frame and what they thought was way different. Here in Mystery Babylon, you have a lot of debt. So everybody is all about keeping up with the Joneses, right? So that's the saying. So everybody goes to get in more debt so they can keep up. Everybody got to have a new car. Everybody wants to live in one of the top cities. Everybody wants to have the jewelry, the clothes. So you have that pressure that's on you. When you go outside of Mystery Babylon, people really ain't got stuff, in different countries. So it takes the pressure off of you. Now you don't have to have all those things to compete. You see what I'm saying? So it takes that pressure out of you. So when you see the Passport Bros on their YouTube channel, they not in different countries, with $100,000 worth of jewelry, $10,000 worth of jewelry, expensive clothes. They got regular stuff on over there, and they still able to pull nines and tens on a scale of 1 to 10 of beautiful women, and it's just that feeling, right? Because you don't want to go to one of those countries anyways and have on all that stuff, and you're not from there, because man, you could be targeted to be set up and robbed. You know what I mean? So the whole Passport Bros thing is getting famous and stuff like that, right? Because they're comparing them to the women in Mystery Babylon, which we know those women have drunk from the cup of the great harlot of Mystery Babylon, and they're just bugged the fuck out completely. So, you can still go out there and deal with women that's a part of the tribes of Israel, but on islands, in different places, especially in like Mexico and stuff like that, right? Where you could get women that are very fine looking women, right? Why are they fine? Because they spend their life actually having to work. They spend their life actually having to do labor, cook, clean, pick up things, move things, use energy. So typically they're in good shape. But the Mystery Babylon woman, they get Link, they go to the store, they get the Link card, they get the food for free, the food stamps. The government takes care of them. They get child support. They could just sit at home and do drugs and shit all day and deal with men, because and that's what a lot of them do. So a lot of them all shape and just sit home and eat all day, right? No, no. Sorry. So you see the difference, right? And then you also see the difference in just mind frames. The women in Mystery Babylon in the States, they do things where it's like you gotta pay for them everything pretty much. You know what I mean? Um, but the things they expect, like no longer can you get them flowers or some shit, whatever, or just take them out to eat. They want Lamborghini trucks. They want Range Rover Sport trucks. They want Birkin and Gucci bags. This shit costs thousands and thousands of dollars, and we're in the middle of a recession that they don't really want to call it that, but yeah, we're in the middle of the currency collapsing, and they expect you to do all this shit. And if you can't do that, if you don't look like Lil Durk, if you don't look like NBA YoungBoy, if you don't look like Future, right? And you're not portraying that lifestyle. You're not some type of athlete like Ja Morant. If you're not Steph Curry, if you ain't got the Drake thing going on, then you can't really get these women. You see what I'm saying? So, so you got to have all that, and you have to compete with that. And then with the internet just fucked everything up. Because before, let's just give you an example. Like before, you would have a woman, right? Her options would be the man. So okay, back in. So before, like just giving you the example, like before, woman would deal with the man in that area. She grew up in this neighborhood, she lives in this city, what I mean, this zip code. Those will be her options. The man that she see when she go to work, the man that she see back in the day, library, the man that she see when she's in her neighborhood, running to the local. If you got a neighborhood, you're gonna have a local store. Everybody go to the local Walmart. Back in the day, Shop and Save. These restaurants, y'all got a club that everybody go to. So she'll date those men. But now they have something called the internet. So it's not only her options have grew. Now she got damn near the whole United States as her options because she got dudes that in California that see her on Facebook that's messaging her that will fly, it's something called fly her out that will fly her out to California just to deal with her. You see what I'm saying? Or fly her out to Texas or Florida just to deal with her. So now she has all these options. So when you got options as a woman, what do? You go for the best options. So you go for the dudes that what got the most power, the most respect, the most money. So the other dudes they really don't have no chance. The nice guys that would be a nice husband for her, that really is on the same level as her, she don't even look twice at. So these men started to come up with something, right? And then when you factor in the whole marriage stuff, if I marry you, you divorce me, which we'll get into that, and then take half, if not all, my money, and then child support if I have a child with you. We ain't even getting into that yet, but just keep going, right? So what these men start doing is they started to get on airplanes, right? Airplanes, and they started to get something called a passport, right? So you don't need a passport to get on an airplane if you're flying inside the United States Mystery Babylon from city to city, state to state. But if you're going outside, then you need a passport, right? So they started getting these passports, and then they would go to places like the Dominican Republic. They would go to places, they would go all the way down to Cuba. They would go all the way down to Puerto Rico. They would go to Mexico, right? They would go to Thailand, right? And what they would do is they would deal with these women, right? So now going back to the whole child support thing, right? If I get a woman with a birth certificate and social security number in the United States of Mystery Babylon, right? If I marry her and we get divorced, she could claim half of my assets, if not all, right? And you have to pay her alimony, right? That's still a real thing. I just got to talking to the Edomite maybe a couple days ago, and he was having to pay all that shit. So it's still a very real thing, right? And if I don't even get married with her, but I have a child with her, right? First of all, the child's gonna be born in Mystery Babylon, the worst place, the most wickedest place on earth, right? And they're gonna get a mother control, right? And now I have to pay child support. But check this out. But watch this, right? Now you gotta know the laws where you go because it's different wherever you go. So, but in certain states, let's just say I go to Mexico, right, and I get a woman, a wife down there. Guess what? Our divorce, our rate of divorce, the the percentage of us getting divorced goes dramatically down, right? Cause I'm like the best thing that she ever had. You see what I'm saying? Her options ain't too many American dudes that she see around that she could get that got American money. So I'm like already at the best. You see what I'm saying? Rather than you getting a girl, but she has all these options that really better than you. That's coming. That's tempting her every day. We know that women are very weak when it comes to temptation. That's why they're the most in debt. They buy the most things because it's temptation. They go to a store, they see a deal, they get tempted, they go for it. You see what I'm saying? It's easier to sell the woman, right? Um, so now I ain't gotta worry about no alimony because she not even a United States citizen, right? And I ain't got to worry about child support because she's not a United States citizen. You see what I'm saying? So you ain't got to worry about none of those United States Mystery Babylon programs. You see what I'm saying? You're not a citizen of her country. So really, it's just ass out, you know? So that's why men do that to kind of secure themselves. But even past that, you know, they're just nicer. They grew up on different morals, friendlier, know how to be in order more, you know. Um, they're going to appreciate you more. They're going to love you more. So that's why brothers is getting the passport and becoming of the passport brother community, and then they're going and then they're getting women, but not just one woman. You know, they may go out somewhere and they might go out to Johannesburg, Africa, and get a lot of women and be and do the whole polygyny thing, which is a part of the Bible. This is Isaiah 4:1. It says, in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name. Which is, what is that? That's marriage. To be called by your name. Your wife takes your name, right? To take away our reproach, which is, what is reproach? Disgrace, right? Because it was, in the ancient days, it was disgraceful for a woman to not have a husband or not to have children. It was a disgrace. So that would take away their disgrace by them having a husband, right? That was the goal for women in the day, was to get married and take a man's name. That was an honor, right? Because she, just like the same thing, she would cleave to her parents, and her father, you know, would arrange the marriage, and then she would cleave to her husband. You see, verse 2 says, and in that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious. So this is going to be a beautiful and glorious thing when 7 women take hold of one man. And the fruits of the earth should be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. So even them that are escaped, the remnant, the elect, you're going to have this going in the kingdom, because when you go to Matthew 19, what did it say? The Lord said, you should receive 100-fold. Those that forsake homes, wives, children, in the kingdom, roughly paraphrasing, you are going to receive 100-fold of those things. So let's go to another precept if I can get my computer to work, right? But yeah, back to the other topic that we was talking about, you know. So most of us, one Westers, we agree on the multiple wives things. There is a big debate that I seen going on today about the harlot thing. Um, you know, it's just very simple. You know, we got examples in the Bible, right? So there's no sin, right? Well, what does it say? It says where there's no law at, roughly paraphrasing, it says where there's no law, there's no sin, right? So where there's no law, there's no sin, right? So we see examples of, now you can't be a whoremonger. What's a whoremonger? That's a man that's getting women, and it's like a pimp, a man that's getting women and selling them for sex. That's like sex trafficking, whoremongering, right? But we do see examples of our forefather Judah, which when a lot of brothers, you know, get asked the question who they want to meet in the kingdom, you know, a lot of brothers will say, I want to meet Moses, or brothers want to say, I can't wait to meet Abraham or Jacob. Or of course we all want to, Yahweh Shai is on the top of that list. Yahweh Shai is on the top of that list, right? But very few brothers say Judah. And one of my that's what I always say. You know, people ask me, you know, who do you really want to meet in the kingdom? And I always say I want to meet Judah. You know, the man Judah. But we see the example of Judah going into a harlot, right? We see the example of Samson going into a harlot, right? So that's a part of it, you know. These women, you know, a lot of the other nations, when they go into slavery and captivity under the Israelites, a lot of their women are going to be harlots. That's what they're going to be set up for, man. Um, you know, a lot of especially like the Moabites. Funny story. I ain't gonna get too much in detail, but you know the Moabites, you know, they be setting up shop, man, with those massage parlors, right? Those massage parlors, and on the outside it looks like a massage parlor, but it's actually it's a harlot house. You know, you go in there, you get your rate for your massage, but you know you can ask them, do you do specials? And if they say yeah, then they gonna give you a rate for the specials, and you know what happens after that. You know, that's just a part of this. You know, like I said, we got those examples of those mans going into harlots. You know, we got the example of Hosea chapter 2, right? Now let's go to it. Let's actually go to Hosea chapter 2 and see what's going on, because I think it talks about this in Hosea chapter 2 and in Hosea chapter 1. So I'm on my computer. Y'all know how this works. Let my computer load. All right, Hosea 2. Right. Let me get. Let me find what verse. I'm looking for a verse. I do not have it off the top of my head, because it could be Hosea chapter 1. But brothers know these precepts, or then came across them. Hosea 1. Let's go to Hosea 1. Let's see if we can find it there. Where pretty much where he was commanded to take a wife that was a harlot, right? Right here, right? So this is verse 2. Hosea 1 verse 2. It's verse 2, straight to the point. It says, the beginning of the word of the Lord by Hosea, right? So the word of the Lord, right? It says, and the Lord said to Hosea. Now follow me here. This is what the Lord said to Hosea. We believe in the Bible, right? We believe that all scripture is inspired by the Lord, right? It says, go take into thee a wife of whoredoms and children of whoredoms. So he was actually commanded to go take a whore as his wife. And we know that for a woman to become your wife, well, we know that sex is marriage. So this is basically the Lord commanding him, go find a whore, a harlot, a whoredom, right? And have sex with her and make her your wife. You see? It says, for the land has committed great harlot, departing from the Lord. So he went and took Gomorrah, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son. Right? So that's the whole point, right? So he was commanded to go take a harlot and have sex with her. So yes, we know we can have sex with harlots. We could go into harlots, you may go into a harlot, if it's like a woman of another nation, then she's just a harlot. You may go into a harlot that's a woman of your nation, that's an Israelite woman, and you may be trying to do what Hosea is doing. You may try to take her to be a wife, but she may not let you take her to be a wife. Does that fall back up on you? No, that don't really fall back up on you. What can you do if she's not? That's like if I meet a woman at a bar, and I look at her and I examine her and we courtship or whatever, right? I had this happen before, long time ago. Let's just say that, you courtship, right? Then you go in and have sex with her. Now you thinking she finna be a girl. That you thinking in your mind. We say girl today, right? But your wife, right? But we say my girl. So you thinking she finna be your girl. You like, okay, we have sex. It's finna be my girl. And then she just get up out of there on you. All she wanted to do was smash. Girls be, man. These mystery Babylon girls be on that shit today, man. All she wanted to do was smash. You probably did it 2-3 times with her, and then after that, she out of there, right? Because she's a harlot, right? Because she can't stop thinking about other men. So yeah, you took her out on dates, right? You was really serious about getting down with this woman. Y'all did the deed. Now technically she becomes your wife. But she's still out there playing the harlot. She's still out there, got other men messaging her. What did we say about the temptation earlier? The temptation. She's still getting tempted by men. She don't want to delete her Facebook. You told her delete her Facebook. She don't want to delete it because that's her power. Why she want to delete her power when her power is her messenger? Having all these guys every day she wake up, she has 10 messages from guys asking her out. Hey, what you doing? Where you at? Hey, call me real quick. Hey, here's my number. Hey, can I take you out on a date? This is on an everyday basis. Every day she wake up. Why would she want to delete something like that? But you telling her to delete it, and she's getting tempted by all these different guys every day. And these guys, they don't care about adultery. So she's getting tempted. As soon as she get mad at you, now she's dealing with another guy. Then she's dealing with 2, 3 other, 4 other guys. So what is that? That's her playing the harlot. But you try to take her to be a wife. Is something bad on you? Did you go wrong or something, or is it on her? It's on her. So that's just the whole point of it, just to touch that topic. And that's why you have such thing called a passport bros now. Because today, bros got tired of that shit. So tired of playing that game. I get a woman, try to take her to be a wife. She's a harlot. You see what I'm saying? Well, then I might as well get me a passport, go outside the country, right, and deal with women. Now, you may say, well, it's the same thing. No, it's not. It's different because when you coming from Mystery Babylon, right? It is Mystery Babylon. It's the city of gold and all that stuff, right? The country that has the most gold on earth, we know that, right? They say that America does, right? But it's the richest, strongest country, right? It's the Mystery Babylon, the great city, right? So when you leave from here, you have just being an American, no different than being a Roman during the time or being an Egyptian during the time the Egyptians was ruling the world, right? And that's just your citizenship. But there's still different nations that were Romans, Israelite Romans, Edomite Romans. Same thing with today. You got Black Americans, you got Native Americans, you got Latino Americans, you got Edomite Americans. You see what I'm saying? So just an example, right? So when you go outside the country, you have this certain prestige on you. So, and your money is heavier than their money, right? Because you come with Mystery Babylon type of money. So a lot of these guys set up businesses where they could get paid, and then they could go over there and actually live over there for months. So when one of these women bump into you, you're already her number one option. That's the difference. When you get a woman in Mystery Babylon, 9 times out of 10, you're not her number one options because she has that internet. That's the big difference. So pretty much what they say is I could go over here and live like a king. Why do you living like a king if you go to Puerto Rico? Because the women are looking up to you as a king. You have king-like power and money and influence over these women. Compared to in the States, you don't. They just look at you like you ain't shit unless you are rich and famous. And then, yes, you do have that king-like power. Kanye West has that king-like power over women. Drake, he go any club, any bar, any stadium, he has that king-like power. Women are going to fall at his feet. But if you're just a regular dude, you have no chance because of the internet now. So now you have to go outside and other places where you could be treated like a king. And that's where the whole passport bros thing was birthed at. And that's really the reason behind it. Now, brothers may get over there, deal with harlots until they find them one. And then they may find them something real. Let's go. I can't type that in that way, can I? Nope. Alright, let's go. Okay, let's go to Isaiah 13, and we're going to get straight to the point, right? What did the Lord say? Verse 12. The Lord, now, verse 11 give you some context, right? It says, and I will punish the world for their evil. So this is coming by the way of punishment for the world for their evil, right? So this is going to be around the same time that Isaiah 4 is happening. It's the same thing. It says, in the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. So those that are proud in wickedness, like we say, your Drakes, your Futures, your entertainers, your football players, your NBA players, and your Edomites, your banker families, the ones that's on top, that's proud right now because they're living like kings on earth right now. The Lord said he's going to cause that arrogancy of the proud to cease. Why? Because he's going to start punishing the world, right? It says, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible, right? But at the same time he's doing that, watch this. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the gold wedges of Ophir, right? And you want to know why? Because the same time he's making the arrogancy of the proud cease, well, we could kind of assume, right, that the man that's going to shine, that's going to be more precious than fine gold, is going to be the man of the Lord. Why? Because he's not going to punish them to lay them low like he is to the proud. So they're actually going to be more precious than fine gold. Plus, they're going to have the hedge of the Lord around them. The Lord is going to give them that spiritual power. And they're going to have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of what's going on these days. And they're going to be exempt from the punishment that the Lord is going to do on the world. But he said, verse 11, I will punish the world for their evil. So he's punishing the evil ones in the world. He's punishing the world for being evil, the ones that are doing the evil, but the ones that's doing righteous, what does that mean for them? That mean they're going to be saved. That mean that they're going to be more precious than fine gold. What's more precious than fine gold on the earth, right? So they're going to be more precious than fine gold. So now you're going to be the number one option, brothers. You're going to be the top, the number one option. You're going to be what's the dude from 50 Shades of Grey? I forgot the guy name. I used to know the guy name. You're going to be the top billionaire 50 Shades of Grey type dude that the woman just fall out after. So with that being true, you're going to have multiple women, which is a righteous thing, because it's even in our law for us to have multiple women. Deuteronomy 21, Exodus 21, I believe, verse 10 or something like that, right? So now women are going to say, hey, Isaiah 4:1, I just want to be your wife. I'm not worried about if you have 6 other women. I just want to be your wife too. You see, so you're gonna have that. And then you're not gonna have to take a passport no more. You see what I'm saying? You're not gonna have to have a passport. We're gonna have dominion, rulership over the earth. We're gonna be able to go wherever we want on the earth. There's not gonna be there's an air what they say there's air zones. You can't come into this airspace without permission. We're gonna be able to go wherever the fuck we want to on earth without any permission from no heathen. You see what I'm saying? So we're not gonna need no passports tracking us. You see what I'm saying? And we're gonna get multiple women, right? So this time is coming. Some brothers, they can't wait, so they get their passport and they go and do all those things. I'm not telling you to go do all that. We don't need to do all that right now. We need to be focused on the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, because we're going to get those things in the kingdom anyways. With that, I'm going to say salvation to the elect. Shalom.